Welcome to CWS Christian Writing and Speaking. I'm your host, Jackie Wilson. And today's guest says so many women feel stuck taking medication, including birth control. Today's guest is a pharmacist and natural family planning educator who works for the people. She says, honor your body's natural functioning, get to the root cause of your symptoms, and rid yourself of any unneeded medication. She has a doctorate of pharmacy and she is certified in the Standard Days method and the Marquette model of natural family planning. In addition, she is a board certified pharmacotherapy specialist and has a certificate in medication therapy management. Let's welcome to the CWS stage, Dr. Emily Kirkwold. Welcome, Emily.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, I'm definitely excited to talk about this topic because when it comes to family planning and other issues concerning a woman's body, a lot of people have a lot of things to say, and a lot of people who are not women have lots of things to say about how women should treat their bodies and how they should function within their bodies. But I love this perspective that that you've taken, that we should look at what God has already done in our bodies naturally, and we should honor that. And so I'm interested in knowing your story. How did you come to this particular point? There are so many ways that you could go into pharmacy and family planning, but you chose this. And so we definitely want to know why this route and how you're helping people.
Yeah, thank you so much for asking. I'm happy to share. Like you read in my background, I went to pharmacy school, and so I took a lot of anatomy and physiology classes, but I didn't really know a lot about how fertility works. In pharmacy school, it was kind of learn about a cycle, learn about birth control medications, and that's it.
Mm.
But for me, what happened was my husband and I, we had a child. It got pregnant easily, had an easy pregnancy, and then we wanted to have another child. And so when we tried to have that child, thought it was going to be the same thing. We would get pregnant easily again. And that didn't happen for us the second time around. We tried for months and months and months. And thankfully, we were able to get pregnant. But when I went in to see my doctor then during that pregnancy, she said to me, "Oh, yeah, we see that women who've been on birth control, it can just delay your fertility." And for me, instead of assuring me that, oh, other women have dealt with this, so it's okay that you've with it too, for me, that was like huge alarm bells going off that putting birth control pills into my body was doing something to my body that I wasn't sure I wanted to keep doing. And so I was really motivated during that pregnancy to figure out if there was an alternative. I had heard the term natural family planning before, but I didn't really know what it meant. But during that pregnancy, I did a lot of research and I found out, oh, there's instructors. I took a class and I learned that my body has natural signs of fertility that I can pay attention to. And so after I had that child, I started using natural family planning and it changed my life. It changed my relationship with God. It changed my relationship with my husband, and it changed my relationship with myself. And once I started using it, I knew that I needed to be part of helping other women know about it too.
Yeah, I love that. How did it change your relationship with God? Because people are like, well, you're doing something that people do on a daily basis. What's the big difference with you?
Yeah, it really came to that mindset that I had about my body and really believing and like taking ownership that God made my body a certain way. God made us as women to have cycles and that this is something to be celebrated. I was, a teenager who would always complain about my period coming. But using natural family planning, I realized my period is just part of the design that God gave me. And so being able to really work with my body in its natural rhythms made me give more thanks to God for the way that he made me.
Mm. And what do you think are some of the challenges that Christian women may face today? Especially, maybe some of the thoughts that are permeating the church, which may not actually align with reality, or in your case, when you're talking about natural family planning.
Yeah, that's great questions. You know, there are so many messages that women get and Christian women get, right? About how we're supposed to raise our families, how our bodies are supposed to work, how just and messages that culture just say, "Oh, this is just how it is." So,
Mm,
you know, something that women a message that women hear from our society is just birth control is what every woman is supposed to be on. Birth control is just a benign medication that every woman is supposed to take. It can help with any kind of cycle issue, and it is just the thing that you're supposed to do to be responsible with family planning is something I hear.
mm,
And what I hear from women and what I experience myself is that many times when women are discussing family planning options with their doctors, especially options for avoiding pregnancy, they don't get information that there even are methods like natural family planning methods. They're really just talked about different medication options. And so part of the work that I do is just helping women understand that there are multiple options for them to consider, medication options and non-medication options.
mm. And what do you say to people who are afraid of the term family planning? Because some people think we should just let our bodies, if we get pregnant, we should just let our bodies give to the world constantly and not even think about planning for a family.
Mhm. Yeah. You know, God gave us our bodies and he gave us our families and he gave us the ability to discern. He gave us wisdom. And, you know, the Bible talks about if we ask for wisdom, he will grant us wisdom. And so I think that part of thinking about family planning is being in prayer about God, what do you want my family to look like? What do you want my family size to look like? Is this a time where I should be open to having children? Or is this a time where I do need to take steps to avoid pregnancy? And how would you like me to go about that?
Yeah. And it's not just about women, it's also men. You're
Yes.
in this partnership. You don't do it on your own. So,
Exactly, exactly. And that was one thing that really was transformative for me in my marriage, going from a couple using birth control to going to a couple using natural family planning. For me personally, I felt a lot of pressure when I was taking birth control that I had to take this pill every day. I felt like everything was on me to make sure we were avoiding pregnancy. Whereas when we're using natural family planning, we are communicating often about what are my signs of fertility? What does that mean for our intimacy? What does that mean? Are we intending to achieve or avoid? It really feels like we are in a partnership, and that increased communication is so important for a marriage.
yeah, I love that. Anytime that anything that can bring you and your spouse together that's closer, I mean, that's a great thing, definitely, because God
Hmm.
wants spouses to be as one. So
Definitely.
you actually have some products and services that help people take this path of natural family planning. I believe you have some classes. Can you tell the people more about that?
Yes, definitely. So, the best place to start if natural family planning is new to you is to take an introductory class. And so, I teach an online introductory class to natural family planning. I teach it live online twice a month, but I also have a on-demand online course option too. So, anyone can take my introductory class at any time through watching a online course option.
Wonderful. And what else do you have coming up next? Because I know you're constantly busy, not only with your family, but just helping people make better decisions for their lives.
Yes, yeah. So with the online course instruction, I have had my class as an online course, but prior to a few months ago, I was doing one-on-one instruction live online, and I've now developed online courses for instruction. So after you take an introductory class, if you really want to know all the details for using a method, you can now sign up for an online course and use that anytime. Thinking about the future and where this could go in the future, what I would really hope to do and pray that God would open the doors to do is to bring this instruction into places where women and couples are already going, asking questions about family planning and maybe from a more holistic mindset. So I'm hoping doctors' offices would offer instruction to women and couples who are asking questions about fertility. I'm hoping if women or couples are going to chiropractors or naturopathic doctors' offices as well, that they would be able to partner with either myself or other natural family planning instructors to help get more information, help women and couples make more informed decisions.
Mhm. Right. And can you tell people how they can connect with you so they can start taking all of these classes?
Yes, the best place is to go to my website, which is nfppharmacist.com. I have a sign up page right there that's going to walk you through the different sign up options. And then I also have other resources at the website. You can send me an email through the website as well.
Great. Now, as we are closing out your interview today, what is the one thing you think everyone needs to know, and how can they implement it in their life right away?
Yeah, really great question. Um, it's hard to narrow down to just one thing, right? But the one thing that I want you to walk away from is knowing that your body was made a certain way on purpose. And so for women especially, that comes to your body was made to cycle. And so what I'd like to challenge you to do is to pay attention to how you feel. Do that for a month at a time, or do that for a month and see, did you notice any pattern to the way that you were feeling in the month? And give thanks to God for feeling differently on different days during your cycle.
Yeah, I love it. CWS audience, you have heard the doctor. She has challenged you, and I re-emphasize that challenge. Be First of all, be thankful that you do go through various changes, because God made your body a certain way because he knew exactly how it should function. And as you are facing those various changes that you're going through throughout the month, think about how it's affecting you. It can affect you in so many different ways, beyond just your body, your mentality, how you're interacting with your family,
Mhm.
spiritually, what you're feeling. Think about those things and then go to God for wisdom on how to move forward. And if you need help with natural family planning or want to know more information, make sure you hook up with Dr. Emily. She is ready to help you. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. And until next time, beautiful people, God bless.